Namaste, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll show you how I make my annual review for the year 2024. There are two parts to this process, collecting and compiling data. And when it comes to collecting data, the first way I do is through my habit tracker. I use Notion for my habit tracking. So it is a very simple setup. So each column depicts different habits and the first column has dates of the entire year as different rows. So for each row for each day I can tick or not tick any of those habits, so whether I completed them or not. So that's a very simple setup. Notion also has the feature of giving me the total number of checked boxes. So for example, if I do this, I can see count checked. So all of the checked boxes are added to get the total number here. So this is a very simple setup. And then I go to Google Calendar. This is where all of my events are recorded. So I'll just go to the first month of the year and then I'll start seeing whatever I've done and collecting them. And the third part is I go to Google Photos. Here I again go to the first month of the year and start collecting data. Whatever has happened, I try to revisit the entire year. I just recap the entire year using the Google Photos, and there will be few pointers which I'll remember when I see the photos, right? As I say, an image can say more than 1,000 words, right? So similarly, when you see the photos, there are a lot of things that comes to your mind, right? So you can collect data from here also. And then I go to Amazon, where I go to my orders and I see everything for the past year. So I can go here and select 2024, and then I just go to the last page here, and then I start coming back to the previous page one by one. And then I'll include my reflections. So that is whatever thoughts I have collected throughout the year, I'll just add some of them as part of my annual review. You can do that also, that is an option. And you can also go to your Swiggy or Zomato or wherever you order food from. You can also collect data from Google Maps, where it will show you where you've been. Suppose you've not marked it in your calendar or in your photos. Maybe your Gmail has some stuff that will make you remember a few things. My inbox is empty, so I don't have to check my inbox. So there are a lot of ways other than these 3 or 4 I just mentioned to collect data of what you've been doing the entire year. And after you've collected the data, you have to compile it. So you have to make it into one page of a blog or something like that. It can just be in your journal also. So it should be in one page showing you the entire year, right? So that is what we do in compiling. How we can go about doing that is, there are 2 ways you can do here also. One is the quantitative and qualitative approach, and the other is you can do using monthly based system. And when it comes to compiling, you can use your previous year's review template if you have one. So I've been using quantitative and qualitative approach for the past 2 or 3 years. In the quantitative highlights of 2024, I mention all those that I've collected data from my habit tracker, right? I just showed you in my Notion. So all of those numbers will come into quantitative highlights of 2024. So number of days I have done yoga, number of days I sat for meditation, and also the total number of minutes I sat still with my eyes closed and spine erect. So that's all I see when I say meditation. And for my spiritual rituals, I count the number of times I've chanted a particular mantra. It will not be exact, of course, so that is there. And then I mention the number of books I've read this year. And then you can add the work of your profession. For example, I add number of performances I've given this year, number of blogs I've written, number of original music compositions I've created, number of long format video content I've made, if I have made podcasts I've released. So all those things you can add in the quantitative highlights of the year. Then coming to qualitative highlights of the year, I mention places I've traveled outside my city as an artist. So I get to travel for free and perform there. So I'll mention all those locations here. And then also I mention experiences, different kinds of experience, maybe something for the first time. For example, I got my passport, I got my driving license, and I got to perform on a different stage. And then there is new stages, new studios I visited, new studio works I've done for the clients. And then I also have mentioned noteworthy artists I've accompanied this year. So that I won't add every single artist here. I'll just mention a few which I felt good being connected to them. And that's it for the qualitative highlights of the year. So usually I end my annual review here, but this year I thought of this new kind of way to see the year and see the whole recap. So it's basically originating from this prompt, okay, this question. So what excited me that particular month? Basically this is a monthly view of the whole year. So what did I do in the first month? Certain points. And of course I won't be mentioning everything that happened that month, only what excited me, right? So that is very key here. It's so beautiful to see that you were excited about something throughout the year. I had at least 2 points to mention in every month. So that is something beautiful, right? So that's it for this video. I hope you got some value out of this, and see you soon.